This April,
No, what? We're out!
12 Hermits
Oh, damn it. I tried.
will stop at nothing
Oh shoot! Oh Zuma,
Remember,
it's been
take a little damage.
nice
Just run
meeting you
towards
all.
to achieve everything.
No!
My name is Pixel Riffs, and this is the Hardcore Hermits recap.
They killed you! Do you see it?
4 teams began this competition with a plan to claim as many advancements as possible, or just to wing it and see how far they got. And as we enter the 4th and final week, more than half of our players have been lost to either creepers,
Oh no!
the nether,
Oh,
or the night.
It's over!
Done, man.
The 2 teams that emerge into the cold light of dawn as we begin the home stretch are Team GFX with a complete team of Good Times with Scar, False Symmetry and Azuma, and Team Zit, who lost Impulse SV to a Phantom attack, but still have Tango and Zedaf to carry them across the finish line. Now that both teams have nearly run out of things they can reasonably do in the overworld, they're both racing to locate their stronghold and complete the end portal, the better to reach the end, claim a few quick advancements, and probably get their butts kicked by a dragon. But with the scores looking very close, it's going to be down to the wire. Without further ado, except to warn you that there are spoilers coming up, let's dive into episode 10.
This is definitely a snapshot. If you could see my screen right now, you'd know it's a snapshot.
We rejoin Team GFX in the Nether, where Scar does his best to chat up a ghast, but the lady in his life interferes.
Okay, hey big boy. Oh shoot, Jelly is actually like messing with my foot right now.
At first, the ghast looks like it isn't bothered, but as soon as Scar puts himself on a pedestal, the floaty menace turns on him and brings its friends. Scar does his best to return fire, but under this bombardment, there isn't a whole lot he can do, but his bacon is ultimately saved by the server straight up crashing. It turns out there's an issue with too many drowned spawning and killing the server, which is a moment of foreshadowing we will skip right over, because Azuma and Scar emerge from the nether to find they've had the diamonds they needed the whole time.
Oh, that's all I have to
There we
do.
go.
I don't even have to put them on.
It's not enough to make everybody a diamond hoe, but it's a free advancement if you want to just look at these shoes for a second. Meanwhile, False has been in the overworld being bullied by phantoms,
Oh, the phantoms are back. What?
eating ender pearls,
I've got a.
Although I
I've got
just
a
used it
brain
by accident.
scrambler for you.
and taming invisible horses. All in a day's work, really. But she swaps places with Azuma, who still needs to tame a glitchy friend of his own, and heads down into the mine to look for those elusive diamonds. Still raw from the loss of the physical body of Impulse SV, but putting up with his grumbling about all the things he didn't get to do while he was alive, Team Zit packs up their villager base camp and sets off for the location of their nearest stronghold. But not before Zedaf gets to declare himself a medical professional.
yes.
Oh, zombie doctor!
I am a cura of disease.
With Impulse now acting as a kind of traffic helicopter and keeping an eye out for Endermen, they set off by boat and head for an end portal. And their luck works out, with the first few Endermen they encounter being generous with what they leave behind. But somehow the hostile mobs aren't the only ones taking an interest in the team.
All the fish love Zed.
We almost died.
Yeah.
I've got clownfish.
The clowning around doesn't stop there, as they make it to the approximate location of the stronghold, and Zedaf attempts to make them a nether portal, with mixed results.
Oh my goodness, that is the worst portal ever. They don't
What
even-
am I doing?
Is that portal ever?
Exploring their new location, but staying away from a very burny forest, they search for pumpkins to complete their iron golems, and formulate some unconventional battle strategies for taking on the dragon.
Bring the llama to the end, maybe it'll spit on the dragon.
Death by spitting.
Episode 10 leaves the teams unharmed, if slightly singed around the edges, but their time is running out as we move on to episode 11. Team Zit gets the pumpkins they were looking for with a bit of a nudge in the right direction from Impulse, and when Zedaf makes his own Iron Golem a split second sooner than Tango's, they realise they could have made do with just one.
Oh, I got it before. I was just near it.
While his teammates return to the hunt for Enderman, Impulse flies down to the end portal and confirms they will need all 12 Eyes of Ender if they want to reach the end, and the team only has enough pearls for 9. But a teammate watching over them from the sky isn't an advantage when no Endermen are spawning, so they return to the boats and immediately come under fire from the drowned. Tango survives thanks to some hasty drinking of health potions, and together he and Impulse manage to coach Zedaf through getting the sniper duel advancement before morning comes and burns away the skeletons.
I wish I could like.
Figuring they may as well dig down to the stronghold now, Zed and Tango break their way into the portal room and smash the silverfish spawner before Impulse gets to laugh at them too much. But despite getting the advancement for setting foot in the stronghold, they're still waiting on 3 more ender pearls with only 1 episode left to get them.
All right, we need 3 more. Oh, God, so close.
A stronghold is in Team GFX's sights too, and Azuma locates the coordinates despite having kind of forgotten how numbers work.
Sorry, no, it's not. 5,000. Oh my god, I'm really bad at reading numbers and saying them out loud.
Yeah.
Let me just type it down for you, because that's going to be so
type
much
it in
easier.
chat.
While Scar and False craft themselves diamond hoes and farm their way towards Azuma's location, X battles against the new water mechanics and digs down from the seabed, finally breaching the walls of the stronghold and taking up a new battle against Silverfish.
Oh,
That's very
there's lots of
confusing.
silverfish. Oh no, it's very bad for me.
With night falling, False and Scar get their hoe achievements and row out to the stronghold just to get that badge that says they've been there. Now reunited, the team decides to return to the surface and take pot shots at skeletons for the sniper duel advancement, but the drowned have other ideas. False's boat is the first casualty, getting broken from below with a trident as she tries to row to the nearest island. She builds the team a quick, safety platform as the others reach the top of the ladder, and Azuma throws down a boat himself, not realizing Scar was planning to get in that as well.
Oh no,
Oh,
Zuma!
fuck,
You drove the boat away! No, Zuma!
The drowned are polite enough to return False's boat before impaling her teammate with a giant fork, and Scar is the first of Team GFX to meet a watery end.
No!
No, Scar!
As Azuma continues making his escape, disaster strikes False in the most hilarious way possible, and a pufferfish gets into her boat just as she's about to make a run for it. With her new companion poisoning her as she rows, False steps out into the ocean and gets spearfished, just as Azuma suffers the same fate.
This is
Come
the
on.
craziest scene ever. I'm watching Zuma fight the drowned.
No, I'm dead. I'm dead.
Oh, that's it. Oh.
Oh dear.
So that's another 3 points for the 1.13 mobs, and the end of scoring for Team GFX as we wrap up episode 11. Now, since everyone's recorded ahead, Team Zit doesn't know how well they've done, but either way, they might as well go the distance and see how many points they can get by the end of episode 12. And with episode 12, they decide to switch tactics, realizing that they'd be relying entirely on chance to get those ender pearls overnight, and that there's one more advancement they could get in a single episode: Subspace Bubble. So with the other teams out of the race, it becomes a race against time to travel 7,000 blocks in the overworld by using the nether. Traversing nether fortresses and digging through netherrack, dodging lava and pigmen and wither skeletons as they go, they emerge on a distant mountaintop
Yes! Subspace Bubble!
and get the advancement, adding 2 additional points to their column on the scoreboard and calling it a day. With the final scores added up by their calculations, it's a draw between them and Team GFX. Except their calculations are off by a few points, and Team Zit are the winners! Seriously, what is it with this competition and throwing off everyone's maths? Congratulations to Team Zit, who are not only the winners of this season of Hardcore Hermits on points alone, but are the only team to have lasted until the end of episode 12, and once again, did it all without natural health regeneration. Don't forget to head over to Team Zit's episodes and congratulate them on a well-deserved victory. And we should also show some love to Team GFX for being worthy runners-up, Team Ugly Sweater for putting on a fantastic show, and Team NHO for teaching us the most important lesson, that 1.13 mobs are dangerous as all heck. This Hardcore Hermits recap has been a production of the unofficial Hermitcraft recap, written and edited by me, Pixel Riffs, with script supervision by ZloyXP. Don't forget to leave a like on this video and tune in on Sunday for the Hermitcraft recap, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future episodes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.